Hey, this is Cool Trains in Montreal, and I'm stepping into Building 5 here at the Montreal's EXPORAIL. And it's pretty dark, needs more lighting, unfortunately, but you can see some interesting stuff here. So I'm just going to walk up the rows and see what I can find. So here, this looks like a caboose, but it has there a plow. So this is more like I guess a Jordan spreader type thing. Let's see what it says. London Port Stanley. So this was a very odd railroad that ran out of London, Ontario. So I will pull back. You can read that if you'd like. Pause it. From 1938. So it does have these little plows there, so that's for spreading, I'd imagine, spreading some ballast or removing snow. Needs a little bit of a paint touch-up, really. Little love wouldn't hurt. And on this side we have this interesting steam locomotive. Again, it needs a little love. It's British. There you see the springs. They have a different British type coupling system. It's like a chain. These are buffers. And there's a thing that will tell me what it is, a plaque. These British steam engines are famous for having these very odd looking cabs. Maybe the weather is not as harsh because it looks very minimal. Again, the lighting in here is horrible. Chateaubriand. Must have been running in Quebec. Société Nationale des Chemins de Français. So this was running in France. This is a French locomotive. Here's another European locomotive. Looks like a switcher. Again with buffers. European style couplers. Waddon. So it looks like this is a British locomotive. Brihghton Works. United Kingdom. So these European locomotives really did have a Spartan kind of cab. Again, it must be because of the weather wasn't so terrible. And in Canada, we would never have this. And this only has driver wheels. It has It's a 060. There's a rod. Something like you would see on Sam's Trains, his YouTube channel. And very odd that they have the portholes. US and Canadian steam trains, they never had that. So let's see what else we got here. So this looks like a very streamlined LNER steam locomotive from the 40s. Let's see if I can go up and look at it quickly. So it has, yeah, it's open. Good. There's the cab. Now this is more substantial. That's all that the engineer had to look through. Not very much. Not great with the windshield view, front view. This is called the Dominion of Canada, this one. So these is a named locomotive. I do like the blue. Here, and it's actually written there. Dominion of Canada. Number 4489. There's the buffers, and there's the link pin coupler type thing. Very streamlined for its time. Let me see if I can go in. Look in, rather. I won't be able to get in, but the steps are okay. It's really neat, that crest. And there you can see everything that the engineer would see out the front. Not much to see. Can't really see much. Here's all your gauges. So one thing they did really well is the lighting in here to show the gauges and everything. There's the firebox. These engines would be, I'd imagine, very hot to be running. And this is the coal bunker. Can't read that. Quite an impressive locomotive. There are many, many impressive locomotives in here, and I will come back to the shed and make many, many more videos since I have a yearly pass to this place. So let's just walk up here and have a look at this next piece. Naperville Junction. This was a short line. So we have a little caboose here. I believe this was jointly owned by Canadian Pacific and Delaware and Hudson. So this old caboose would probably date from the 20s and 30s. Work up until maybe the 50s or 60s. It do allow you to walk up on top of it, I think. It's all lit up in here, so yep. Stovepipe. That's for heating. This is the cupola, the part that you would go and look and make sure your train was doing fine. Looking for hot box problems. You would see smoke, I guess, on the journal boxes. Here's road people would have to do their paperwork, and that's for that. They have a little light. It's a shade and basically a lantern. Here's your little ladder. I remember as a kid going to Taramukuta Scout Reserve up north from Montreal, and we used to have these cabooses that were converted into camping places for the kids. So that was a lot of fun. Here's like a little rudimentary toilet. Probably empties just onto the track. So you just gotta watch your step coming down. So this locomotive here is a Canadian Pacific, and it's been recently repainted into the Pac-Man scheme. Look at those gigantic 6-axle trucks. This is an Alco or MLW C630, I believe. Got some interesting wings. I think they used these up until about the 90s. This would be in the iconic 1980s paint scheme. These were notorious for putting out a lot of black smoke. As I said, I'll be coming back to this shed, doing videos in here and elsewhere on the premises throughout the summer. Not really sure what the chains are for. There's ditch lights, and as you can see, the pilot, it's like a plow, the Canadian style, North American style couplers, MU hoses. It's a behemoth. And weirdly, Hydro-Quebec, small little switcher. I honestly don't know what this would be for. I guess they'd have a yard somewhere and they have some equipment. It's painted in the 1970s gray with the Q with the bolt of lightning. Very cool. And this one has a North American style coupler. It's a Plymouth. So it's a Plymouth switcher. It's a diesel. At least I think. Two very small wheels. If anyone knows where this would have been running, please let me know. Very cool. And this final one that I'm going to show looks British. Small tender, 4 wheels. Spoked wheels too. So what do we have here? We have, these are driver wheels, so that's a 042. Assuming, yeah, those look like drivers. It's got one large driver, one smaller driver, the two smaller drivers. Although this one's an idler wheel here back. And there's not much of a canopy for the engineer and fireman. And it's got, of course, this flared smokestack. John Molson. Wow. So this is really only one side of here in Carshed 5. So I'm going to come back to Carshed 5 and do some more videos, because there's a lot of interesting stuff in here, and it's just a shame that the lighting isn't better. But I guess what are you going to do? So if you like what I do, please subscribe to Cool Trains in Montreal. Have a good day. Here from Saint Constant at EXPORAIL.